All right, guys, Cutlass here. Just full disclosure on this video, um, I'm going to be talking to you guys about my carburetor work, what I've been doing. Um, I've had a lot of great help over the years. Um, you guys that have followed along know that I reached out to Mylan. He helped me out. We got the car to a certain point. We took the car to the track. And obviously things transpired that day. And here we are like a month later, and we're finally squaring up the car. Now, in the last week or so, a friend of mine told me to reach out to a gentleman named Jim Cooper. He's also an Oldsmobile guy. And big thanks to him. And he told me to try out a couple of things. And I had a spare set. I had a spare set of metering blocks. So I decided to say, you know, what the hell? I'm not going to screw up the set of metering blocks that Mylan set me up with. So I got a spare set of metering blocks. I'm going to go ahead and try some of the modifications that Jim suggested. And I'm not going to go into details because the guy does run a business. He does run a carburetor business, and he, you know, helps me out a lot. And so big thanks to him. And we're off to the next part of the video. All right, guys, Cutlass. I'm going to try to keep this video short. Obviously, you guys know the disclaimer at the beginning. You guys know that my success has been very dependent on people helping me, me reaching out, and people's willingness to be patient with me. I wouldn't be where I am if I also wasn't hard-headed. It's a give and a take. There's people that are going to be patient with you, and there's people that are going to tell you to do as they say, and that's it. And I can tell you from experience professionally that the later part doesn't work, because as a collision repair tech, I took a little bit from the guys I thought were good, and I kind of made a gumbo of skills that I have now. I don't have one particular style of doing work. I have various different ways, and I learn every day. And I evolve every day. I recently changed shops, and it's a whole different setting. And I am learning to work in a smaller mom and pop shop. It's a nice change of pace, but it's going back to working in kind of tight quarters, which I've done before. But I can still do the job, and I can adapt. Some of the tools are different, like the frame machine, things like that. But you adapt and overcome. But part of that adaptation and overcoming is also from help with people and learning from people. So I guess what I'm getting at is I got to thank Jim Cooper for helping me out the last week a lot with the carburetor. I had a spare set of metering blocks, and I just went gung-ho on them. He told me what to do. I did it. He told me the numbers and what to do and what to modify, and we made plenty of modifications, and to the metering blocks at least, and you know, changing air bleeds and what he recommended for the setup. You know, he helped me out a lot, so big thank you to him. Mylan has also helped me out a lot, but since I wasn't going to modify the metering blocks that he did for me, I figure I may as well try something else, because as of last weekend, I left a decent tune on the carburetor with the metering blocks that Mylan helped me out with. And, but I reached out to Jim Cooper and said, hey, man, you know, I got this going on, this, that, and the other. And I told him, you know, what do you suggest? And he told me to send him some pictures of the metering blocks, and, you know, he told me what to do, what I needed, tools, drill bits that I needed, and he said, you could do this. I'm like, all right, cool. So over the last few days, I've been pretty much the last week. As you guys know, my wife got hurt our first time out at the track, and that was disastrous. Between shearing the pin on the distributor, the car not running right, my wife breaking her fibia and tibia in six different spots, she can't walk for 2 months. So everything that she would do that would allow me to be out here, I've been doing. So I really don't have any free time until like 8:30, and right now that's 8:30. I did drive the car today and yesterday, and it feels really good after the modifications that we did, and I'm not going to get into specifics because Jim does do carburetors as a business. He does legitimately do that stuff. But I'm not going to, go off into details or specs. I followed his recipe, and so far it works good. It needs a little bit of finessing, which I know what he's told me what I need to do, but I needed a different set of drill bits that had a little bit more specific numbers, and so I'm waiting on that. But for now, the car runs really good. I drove it. The idle is great. It starts up like a lean best car. It's not super rich, so it actually takes a minute to heat up. But anyway, I've been doing it in bits and pieces, and he's been patient with me. And, I've told him everything that I've had going on. And to top it off, we had a bad coil. So if you guys have been following long enough and you guys saw the videos of the car at Union Grove last year where it was like dying on the line, that was a bad fucking coil. It was starting to go. Well, it started to get worse. I'm surprised I didn't have coil issues. Well, I did have coil issues at the track because it was popping in the burnout box. And the Milan called that. That was an ignition problem because down the street going 7,000 RPM in first gear, it wouldn't pop. But in the burnout box, it would pop. And he's like, that's an ignition problem. So, all right, cool. But I bought a module, a cap and rotor, and the coil did check out. But here's the thing. As electronics get hot, they build up resistance. So I was starting to lose spark. And it got really bad in the last 2 days where like the car, I would drive it, bring it back, run great, and then it would like start to sputter and cut out and die. You'd shut the car off, it'll fire back up, it'd run for like a minute, die again. Okay, so I've been here before with canister type coils, let it cool down for 20 minutes, fired it up. Ran good, again, till that coil got hot. I put my temperature gun on it, sure as heck, it hit a certain temperature, and it shut off. So either way, we had that working against us as well. So a lot of factors go into where I'm at, where I've been, and how I've gotten here. So I've had help from a lot of people, and I can't thank Jim Cooper enough. We were just chatting back and forth on Messenger. There wasn't even phone calls. So I owe him dinner. So if we make it out his way this year, dinner's on me, Jim. But I'm clean. I'm out here. Like it looks like a bomb went off. I'm cleaning up. I'm getting my stuff ready for the track. And hopefully we have some good luck and some good weather and things go good. And I'm very nervous. I'm very anxious. But anybody who's a racer knows that once the helmet comes on, that's it, man. That's all focus. It goes away. So I also want to thank my friends who have encouraged me, along with my wife. She's encouraged me. She doesn't blame me for what happened. Did happen at the track, something that I do, but she's been very supportive, and she's also been patient, with me coming out here, especially this week. I was, last couple of weeks I was only coming out here on the weekends, but I needed a little bit more time this week to dial things in, and I'm glad that I did because I think if I can say this, I think we're in a good spot right now to where hopefully we can go out, test, and not have to make any major adjustments and run our bracket race on Sunday and try to go a couple rounds with the car as is and hopefully not hurt anything and everything's in one piece. We've been flogging on the car a lot, and I mean a lot. That car has not seen easy street driving at all. It's been nothing but abuse from day one. So it's been holding up good. Oil pressure's good. Everything's good. No noises. I do have a cylinder where I think I have a bad valve seal. Be cylinder number 5. I haven't done a leak down test or a compression test, but it had a pretty wet plug, and there was a little bit of oil film on the piston, and it was pretty clean. So it's not coolant, because I could see the shimmer, and it wasn't colored right for me to call that. But if that engine can survive at least this season, kind of as is, I'll be all right. I want to dyno the engine that I freshened up and put that on the dyno, and that's going to have its own carburetor for that. I'm buying a new carburetor for that engine. I'm not going through this shit again. I'm going to buy a new carburetor. It's going to get set up, and yes, do it upright. And I'm going to go to a nice distributor. You know, I got a MSD box, so I think I'm going to end up going with like a Pro Billet. We're going to set it up. I've been given advice by Mylan that, you know, even with a Pro Billet, you have to set the height right and everything so that you don't, you know, grind the gear on the block like I did for years. Big thanks to everybody who's helped me out over the years with advice. You know, JJ, Mylan, Jim Cooper, David Meyer, 67 Cutlass Freak. You guys know him, my cylinder head guru, and also one of my best friends. I mean, the list goes on. A lot of people have helped me out over the years, and I guess this is where it's a big thank you, because it kind of put it into perspective in the last couple of days, where if I didn't have the resources that I've had over the years, I wouldn't be where I'm at. Now, on to something more exciting besides cleaning. Big Jer, if you're watching this, I promise your hood, the weather's starting to get good, and this new shop I'm at, I'm going to try to ask for a favor so that I can spray it there. And, you know, we're gonna do something cool with it, and we're going to get it done for you. So, hopefully I can get it in primer next weekend. And then I'm going to ask my new boss if I can bring it in and use it as a practice piece, because they want me to actually paint at that shop. So, kind of a good practice piece. I know how to paint. They just kind of, you know, it's hard to practice on customer cars that have to go like the next day. But we're not going to screw that up at all. We're going to make that badass. So that's gonna come up. So we'll let you guys go. Share, like, subscribe. Follow me on Instagram as Copper Cutlass. I want to thank you guys so much for all the views, all the likes. You know, we're not out here trying to entertain you with gimmicks. I'm just sharing an honest hot rodder's fucking life, man. So we'll let you go.